50 states in America, 51 if you include DC, and only 17 of them have major league franchises. But every state in the country has its own collection of ballparks. They're used for minor leagues, independent leagues, colleges, or miscellaneous. Today I want to try and find the best ballpark in every American state. In states with an MLB team, the Major League Park usually gets the nod, though not always. In states with 2 or more Major League ballparks, we have to choose one. And even in those states, I'll sometimes mention a non-Major League stadium that's worth checking out. We can't say best ballpark without someone disagreeing. Not everyone's going to have the same opinion. Some people like the feel of an old classic stadium. Others prefer the more modern ones. Some like large stadiums with big crowds. Others prefer a cozier, quieter environment. Maybe the playing surface is what you admire the most. Or perhaps it's the scenic backdrop. Whatever your reason is, if you think there's a better choice than the one I mentioned for a particular state, that's what the comment section is for. We're going to start all the way out west and go up and down the country, working our way eastward. So imagine if you're a visitor coming from across the Pacific. Your summer vacation is a trip through all 50 states, taking in a ball game in each one. This would be your travel plan. Or if you're coming from across the Atlantic, just watch the video and rewind. I said all the way out west, so that means first up is Hawaii. Les Murakami Stadium on Oahu, home to the University of Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Opened in 1984 as Rainbow Stadium, later renamed after the school's legendary coach. Seating capacity of 4,300, a 2-tiered structure with 3 levels of seating. Several renovations over the years. In 2019, a video board was added in right center field. Originally used grass, later changed to AstroTurf, and since 2008 has used DomoTurf. Beyond the outfield fences, a view of Diamond Head and Waikiki can be seen. Next, a little bit east and a long way north. Because of the climate, Alaska is not the best-known state for baseball, but it is home to a domestic league, and 2 teams call Mulcahy Stadium their home, a 3,500-seat ballpark built in 1964 in Anchorage. Natural grass outfield, and the infield uses field turf. Renovations were just done a few years ago that included a new outfield fence and scoreboard. One unique experience here. Games can start at 7 p.m. without any artificial lights needed, due to the midnight sun. Next up, let's move down the west coast, starting in Washington. Here we come across our first Major League stadium, T-Mobile Park in Seattle, home to the Seattle Mariners. Opened in 1999, it now has a capacity of about 48,000, one of the largest in MLB. Retractable roof allows for play in all weather. Second largest HD video display scoreboard in MLB. Oregon, we go to a college stadium for the pick here. Goss Stadium at Coleman Field, home of Oregon State University's baseball team, located in the middle of the campus. Opened in 1907, one of the oldest ballparks in the country, though the grandstand was rebuilt in 1999. Capacity around 3,500, field turf surface, party decks in the left and right field corners of the park. The view beyond the fence is that of trees and campus buildings. As an added bonus, the home team is usually pretty good. California, even if you're strictly just looking at MLB parks, you've got your hands full in this state. 5 major league teams, way more than any other state. But if you're only visiting one, the choice is surprisingly easy. Oracle Park, home of the San Francisco Giants. Open since 2000, capacity 41,000. An 80-foot-long Coca-Cola bottle in the left field bleachers with slides in it for the kids. Next to it is a large 4-fingered glove. A uniquely designed wall with San Francisco Bay on the other side. 415 feet to right center, meaning few home runs but lots of triples hit to that area. Continuously voted as one of the best parks in Major League Baseball. If you've got time to visit all the MLB stadiums in California, check out Petco Park, Dodger Stadium, Angel Stadium, and Oakland Coliseum, in that order. Next, a trip up the Mountain West from the desert through the Rockies. First choice in Arizona should be the Major League Stadium. Chase Field in Phoenix, home to the Arizona Diamondbacks. A retractable roof park opened in 1998, capacity over 48,000, one of MLB's largest. Had a grass surface until 5 years ago when it switched to a synthetic surface. Usually rated pretty low in MLB stadium rankings, but definitely not the worst. Actually, the best ballpark experience in Arizona may not be the Major League Park, but the spring training facilities, like Sloan Park in Mesa or Salt River Fields at Talking Stick in Scottsdale. Right next door in New Mexico, Isotopes Park, home to the Albuquerque Isotopes, a AAA affiliate of the Colorado Rockies. Open since 2001, capacity is 13,500, a bit large for a minor league stadium. Elevation is more than 5,000 feet above sea level, so the ball really flies there. Though just built a couple decades ago, the stadium's architecture is based on designs from the 1940s and 50s. Beyond the outfield fence is a large picnic area for spectators. Beyond that, a scenic view of the mountains. Nevada. There are plans to build a new stadium in Las Vegas that will surely become the state's #1 ballpark when the A's move there. For the time being, the list is already topped by a new stadium in Vegas. Las Vegas Ballpark, home to the AAA Las Vegas Aviators, just opened 4 years ago. Seating capacity just over 8,000. Standing room up to 10,000. Largest video board in minor league baseball. The two backdrops are the Red Rocks Mountains on one side and the Las Vegas Strip on the other. The coolest thing about Las Vegas Ballpark is if you're viewing from the outfield, the infield stands form the general outline of an airplane, with the press box being the cockpit and the stands going to left and right being the wings. In Utah, they are also trying to land an MLB franchise and are making plans to build a brand new stadium. But until that happens, a college stadium reigns supreme here. Miller Park in Provo, home to Brigham Young University's baseball team. Opened in 2001, capacity just 2,200. Surface is artificial turf with a heating device installed underneath. A baseball, softball, back-to-back complex. The best part about this little park is the view. The snow-capped Wasatch Mountains in the background are said to feel like they're on top of you as you sit and watch a game. Colorado, choice is obvious here. Coors Field, home to the Colorado Rockies of MLB. Opened in 1995, seating capacity around 47,000, standing room over 50. The ultimate hitter's park, over 1,500 feet above sea level, so the bar travels far. In an attempt to keep the number of home runs in check, they pushed the fences back. It didn't work. Still more home runs, hit more than anywhere else. And because the outfield is so big, lots of doubles and triples too. Always a good offensive show there. The batter's eye in the center field bleachers contains trees and water to resemble the Rocky Mountain landscape. A large mountain-shaped scoreboard sits in left field. From the rooftop, there's a group seating area, a bar, a deck with drink rails that overlook the field. This is ranked as one of the top 10 best ballparks in MLB. Wyoming, America's least populated state, has plenty of open space for ball fields, but they just don't have much to offer as far as stadiums, or for baseball in general. The University of Wyoming dropped its baseball program not too long ago, and the Casper Ghosts of the Pioneer League relocated over a decade ago. By default, the Ghosts' old field gets the nod here. Mike Lansing Field opened in 2002, capacity 2,500. It's been praised for combining a small grandstand with a large open space to create an intimate atmosphere. No longer used for indie or minor league ball, but was used as recently as 2022 for collegiate ball. Idaho, Melaleuca Field, home to the Idaho Falls Chukars of the Pioneer League. Opened in 2007, capacity is 3,600, 4,700 feet above sea level, and the fence is only 390 feet to center. Next to the right field line, there's a party area with a hot tub. On the opposite side, a picnic area at field level. Scoreboard in left field, trees and neighborhood houses beyond the fences of center and right. Montana, Glacier Bank Park, home to the Glacier Range Riders of the Pioneer League. Just opened in 2022, capacity 5,500. 3,300 feet above sea level, with a center field fence at 406 feet. Artificial turf on the ground. Trees line up outside the outfield fences. Landscape seating, group gathering areas, and leaning rails for viewing the game. In 2023, it was voted as the best park among MLB partner leagues, in a fan vote done by Ballpark Digest. Now, from north to south again, starting in one oil-rich state and ending in another, passing a lot of wheat fields in between. In North Dakota, it's Newman Outdoor Field, home to the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks of the Independent American Association and North Dakota State's baseball team. Opened in 1996, capacity is over 4,000. Roger Maris grew up in Fargo, and the outfield distances replicate the old Yankee Stadium, where Maris used to play. North Dakota State campus buildings are seen outside the park. The Fargo Dome is visible beyond left field. A wooden picnic deck is in the left field corner at field level. Children's play area outside the right field corner. Seems like a pretty typical little park. Gets good reviews from visitors. South Dakota, Sioux Falls Stadium, home to the Sioux Falls Canaries of the American Association. Nicknamed the Birdcage, it opened in 1964, so it's celebrating 60 years this year. But it underwent renovations in the 90s, getting luxury box seating and large picnic area and a state-of-the-art scoreboard. So it's got that old ballpark feel, but with some modernized facilities. Capacity is 4,400. Nebraska, Charles Schwab Field in Omaha, home to Creighton University's baseball team, and annually hosts college baseball's biggest event, the College World Series. Opened in 2011, at 24,000 capacity, it's the largest in college baseball, and that is expandable to 35,000. 408 to center, downtown Omaha, visible on the first base side. The stadium experience there is rated highly by College World Series fans. Not so much by those going to catch a regular season Creighton game. With only about 10% of the seats filled, it can be quite a dull experience. Kansas, Riverfront Stadium, home to the AA Wichita Wind Surge of the Texas League. Just opened in 2021, still very new. Capacity 12,000. Seats are 21 inches wide, some of the widest in minor league baseball, with more space than usual between rows, giving the fans a lot of space. A view of downtown Wichita past the outfield. Looks plain during the day, but looks great at night. A freestanding suite and press-level stands above the open concourse at the top of the main grandstand, standing on pillars to allow a nice breeze to come through. If it looks more like a AAA stadium than a AA one, that's because it was intended to be. It was all ready to go for the 2020 season. Then the season was canceled, and then the team was demoted before ever getting to play a game there as a AAA team. In Oklahoma, for the highest quality of baseball, go see the Dodgers' AAA affiliate in Oklahoma City. For the best ballpark experience, check out their AA affiliate, the Tulsa Drillers. One Oak Field opened in 2010, capacity just under 8,000. The field is 13 feet below street level, which gives it a unique feel. Downtown Tulsa has a big presence there, best viewed from the third base side. In left field, tiers of picnic table seating overlook the field. Group seating in right field. Rooftop seats on an office building next to the park. Texas, you've got two major league ballparks to choose from, and they're about the same, really. Both of them fall in the middle of any MLB stadium rankings, so they're not bad. Neither one is a must-see over the other one. I'll pick Globe Life Field here since it's the newer one. Home to the Texas Rangers, just opened in 2020. Capacity 40,000. Retractable roof, artificial turf on the surface. All the field's dimensions reflect something in Rangers history, usually a retired player's number. For example, the distance from the left field line is 329 feet, after Adrian Beltre's number 29. And I'll mention the other MLB park in Texas, Minute Maid Park, home to the Houston Astros, opened in 2000. Capacity 41,000, with a retractable roof. If you're looking for a good minor league stadium in Texas, best choice is probably Dell Diamond, home to the Rangers' AAA affiliate, the Round Rock Express. Next, take a trip up the Mississippi, starting in Louisiana. Alex Box Stadium, Skip Bertman Field, home to LSU's baseball team. Opened in 2009 as a replacement for the old Alex Box Stadium. Seating capacity just over 10,000. Record attendance is over 13,000. Natural grass surface, artificial turf in the foul territories. Scoreboard in left. Beyond the center field fence is LSU's football stadium. This ballpark regularly leads the country in college baseball attendance. Arkansas, another college stadium, Baum-Walker Stadium at George Cole Field, home to the University of Arkansas baseball team. Opened in 1996, seating capacity 10,700. Record attendance over 13,000. Fourth largest college baseball venue in the U.S. Used to have artificial turf, but now has hybrid Bermuda grass. Scoreboard is in right field. No features that really stand out, just a nice looking ballpark. Voted as one of the best in college baseball. Missouri, two major league ballparks on opposite sides of this state. Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City is definitely worth a visit. But if you've only got time for one, Busch Stadium is the best choice. Home to the St. Louis Cardinals. Opened in 2006, this is actually the third consecutive Cardinals home called Busch Stadium. Capacity is 44,000. The exterior has an old classic look, while the interior has a more modern feel to it. It's a downtown stadium, and that means there's an excellent view of the skyline, including the famous Gateway Arch. Iowa, some good minor league parks in this state, but we're going to go with a little diamond in a cornfield. Field of Dreams, outside of Dyersville, Iowa, home to a bunch of ghosts of baseball's past. Built in 1988 for the 1989 film Field of Dreams. Capacity, very few. Surface, grass, of course. The area was host to MLB games in 2021 and 2022, though not at the exact same site. MLB games will certainly be held there again in the future. Minnesota, Target Field, home of MLB's Minnesota Twins. Fairly new, opened in 2010. Capacity is 38,500. No roof, even though it's in Minnesota. Has one of the closest seating bowls to the playing field in Major League Baseball. The Minneapolis skyline can be seen from the upper deck seating. A great place to catch a game at this venue would be the Budweiser Roof Deck, located in the northwest corner of the ballpark. It's got a fire pit, bar, 150 bleacher seats, and standing room for 150 people. Top to bottom through the country once again, from the Rust Belt to the Deep South. Wisconsin's MLB team is the Milwaukee Brewers, and their ballpark is American Family Field. A retractable roof stadium opened in 2001, capacity just under 42,000. The team's mascot, Bernie Brewer, can be seen sliding from his home high above the left field corner, down a bright yellow slide after every Brewers home run. The Selig Experience is a must-see attraction, which tells the story of former Brewers owner and MLB Commissioner Bud Selig. In next-door Michigan, the MLB team is the Detroit Tigers. Home field is Comerica Park. Opened in 2000, capacity 41,000. In the northeast corner, there's a Ferris wheel with baseball-shaped cars. In the northwest corner, a carousel. A nice-looking scoreboard in left field. A fountain behind center field, called the Chevrolet Fountain. Beyond the walls, the buildings of downtown Detroit tower over the ballpark. Illinois, 2 major league teams, but the choice is not a difficult one. If you've only got time to see one ball game in Illinois, it's not going to be a White Sox game at Guaranteed Rate Field. It's going to be a Chicago Cubs game at Wrigley Field. Opened in 1914, second oldest in MLB. Capacity 41,000. A lot of things make this place unique. The red marquee over the main entrance, the classic hand-turned scoreboard, and especially the ivy-covered outfield walls. Indiana, no major league team, but still plenty of good ballparks to choose from. The choice here is Parkview Field, home to the high single-A Fort Wayne Tin Caps. Opened in 2009, seating capacity 6,500, with lawn and standing room of 9,200. The ortho northeast rooftops in right field allows for groups of 50 or more to watch with the same rooftop experience found at Wrigley Field. Over the left field wall is the Xfinity home run porch, with extra padded seats and food rails. Kentucky, Louisville Slugger Field, home to the AAA Louisville Bats. Opened in 2000, capacity 13,000. An old train shed was incorporated into the stadium, and that's where fans enter the park. From the seats you can catch a view of the Ohio River, with Indiana on the other side of it, and views of downtown Louisville. Ohio, 2 major league parks, Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati and Progressive Field in Cleveland. Both usually fall in the middle of any stadium rankings, and one is not consistently ranked higher than the other. I'll go with Progressive Field, home of the Guardians, opened in 1994, capacity under 35,000, one of MLB's smallest. Features include 19 light towers standing 200 feet above street level, a 13,000 square foot video board, the largest in MLB, and a 19-foot left field fence. Tennessee, if awarded an MLB expansion franchise, Nashville plans to build a new ballpark that will certainly be one of the best in the world. Nashville's already got a nice AAA stadium, First Horizon Park, but the best in Tennessee is another AAA stadium, AutoZone Park, home to the Memphis Redbirds. Opened in 2000, capacity 10,000. It's got 1,600 club seats, 48 upper club level suites, and 2 open-air party decks. The Family Leisure Picnic Pavilion has picnic tables seating up to 500, good for special events. There's also the Bluffs, a grass-covered lawn seating area, and a good city view from the seats, too. Mississippi, Dudy Noble Field at Polk Dement Stadium, home to the Mississippi State University baseball team. Opened in 1967, seating capacity 7,200, 15,000 standing. It holds the record for on-campus single-game attendance at 16,423. Also last year set the record for most attended 3-game series at nearly 44,000. The area beyond the outfield fence is called the Left Field Lounge, 86 lounge spots that can each fit 12 to 16 people. In front and behind the spots are standing room areas where people can put grills and tables. One of the best fan experiences out there. Alabama, Sewell Thomas Stadium in Tuscaloosa, home to the University of Alabama baseball team. Opened in 1948, but it's been renovated a few times, most recently in 2015. Capacity is 8,500. The exterior is made of brick with arches that give it a nice appearance. Inside, 2 levels of seating separated by a walkway. 12 luxury suites on the upper concourse, a right field terrace mostly reserved for students. Alright, time to cover the East Coast from bottom to top. Might sound like we're almost finished, but we're not. All the little states are on the East Coast. Florida, 2 major league stadiums in the Sunshine State, and I'm going to go with neither. You've got Tropicana Field, home of the Rays, considered one of the worst, if not the worst, in Major League Baseball. Best to wait until the new stadium gets built. Lone Depot Park in Miami is a good ballpark, but unless you can get there for a WBC, you'll be struck by the emptiness of the place, and that'll ruin the game day atmosphere. The state is full of good little ballparks, minor league, college, and spring training facilities. Too many to name here. The one I'll go with is Admiral Fetterman Field, often called Blue Wahoo Stadium, home to the AA Pensacola Blue Wahoos. Opened in 2012, capacity just over 5,000. There's a concession building on the first base side, featuring a party deck and rooftop sunshade. Group table seating above the right field wall. Beyond the outfield is Pensacola Bay, where you can see a number of different boats on the water throughout the game time. The seating behind home plate has many times been voted the best view in baseball. Georgia. Of course, the choice here is Truist Park, home of MLB's Atlanta Braves. One of the newest stadiums, opened in 2017. Capacity is over 41,000. It has a higher percent of seats in close proximity to the field than any other stadium in MLB. Similar to Coors Field, just beyond the center field wall there are 3 evergreen trees, a fountain, some boulders, and a waterfall called Chattahoochee Falls. Good ballpark overall. South Carolina, a couple really good minor league parks here. One is Fluor Field at the West End in Greenville. But the number one choice is Pelicans Ballpark, home to the low single-A Myrtle Beach Pelicans. Opened in 1999, capacity 6,500. There's a picnic area on the right field line covered by a tent canopy. The Bullpen Experience Deck above the bullpen behind the right field wall offers a row of seats for up to 25. Tito's Beach Party down the left field line is for groups of up to 100 people. North Carolina, Charlotte might get an MLB team someday, but in the meantime they've got the best ballpark in minor league baseball. Truist Field, home to the AAA Charlotte Knights, opened in 2014. Capacity a little over 10,000. There's no better skyline view in minor league baseball. A major league quality view in a more intimate-sized minor league park. 975 club seats, 22 luxury suites. Games can be seen behind the glass at the Home Plate Club, from a second-level open-air party deck in right field, or from a picnic pavilion in left field. From there you can see the grandstand, with the NFL stadium peeking out just behind it. Virginia. In Richmond, a new stadium is being planned. That could be the state's new number 1 in a few years. For now, though, it belongs to Harbor Park, home to the AAA Norfolk Tides. Opened in 1993, capacity around 12,000. 2 video boards, one in right and one in left. The one in right is the second largest in minor league baseball. There's a covered pavilion in right and a picnic area in left for group seating. From the third base line you can see the harbor just behind the video board. The view from home plate is a pair of cranes from Norfolk Harbor, beyond the center field walls. West Virginia. I know this isn't on the coast, but it just seems logical to keep Virginia and West Virginia together. Monongalia County Ballpark, home to the West Virginia University baseball team. Opened in 2015, capacity 3,500. Synthetic turf on the ground, 1 level of seating. The seating area in right center field is called the backyard, an area with long couches and tables, and chairs covered by large umbrellas, separated from the field by a chain-link fence. There's also grassy hills down left and right field lines, and a party deck. The view from home plate is a distant view of the mountains. Washington, D.C. Of course, it's got to be Nationals Park for this one, home to MLB's Washington Nationals. Opened in 2008, capacity 41,000. A nice ballpark, but nothing special. Usually gets a modest rating when compared to other major league stadiums. Depending on where you're sitting, you might get a view of the U.S. Capitol, the Washington Monument, or the National Cathedral. Maryland. Orioles Park at Camden Yards for the win here, home to MLB's Baltimore Orioles. Opened in 1992, capacity around 45,000. The first retro major league ballpark, the one that began a wave of newer, smaller stadiums. 3-tier grandstand, the old B&O warehouse, and the Baltimore skyline are visible from the upper decks. A grassy picnic and park area at center field is another place to view the game from, with trees and flower gardens. Delaware. Daniel S. Frawley Stadium, home of the high single-A Wilmington Blue Rocks. Opened in 1993, capacity 6,400. 2 levels of seating separated by a large walkway area. A nice cozy-looking atmosphere. Good place to watch the game is at the Blue Moose Grill and Picnic area, down the third base line. There's a view of I-95 over left field, and downtown Wilmington at right. Pennsylvania. 2 major league teams here. Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia is a nice ballpark, top half of all MLB stadiums. But in Pennsylvania, it definitely comes in second place. PNC Park, home to the Pittsburgh Pirates, opened in 2001. Capacity around 39,000. Most MLB stadium rankings, whether done by experts or voted on by fans, have PNC Park at the top of the list. It sits along the Allegheny River, where home run balls sometimes land. From the park, you can see the river, the bridge going across it beyond the center field wall, and the iconic skyline view that the stadium is best known for. It can be seen from your seat, but best from areas behind left and right field, and from the upper decks. New Jersey. No major league teams in Jersey, so we look to the home of the high single-A Jersey Shore Blue Claws at Shoretown Ballpark. Opened in 2001, capacity is 6,500. There's a 9-hole miniature golf course here. You can also play ring toss, balloon darts, and other games at the boardwalk area in center field. Nice landscaping at the batter's eye in center field. Outfield billboards are separated into panels instead of a large wall, creating a different kind of outfield view. New York. If you only visit New York once, you're most likely going to visit Yankee Stadium. Not for the venue, but for the team. They're an iconic franchise. Who wouldn't want to see them playing live on their home ground? But if we're talking about just the ballparks themselves, the best one in New York City is Citi Field, home of the New York Mets. Opened in 2009, capacity around 42,000, 45,000 standing room. Some features include the home run apple, located in center field, that rises and lights up after every Mets home run. Shea Bridge, a pedestrian bridge in the outfield section, the Jackie Robinson Rotunda, the Pepsi Porch, and a beautiful scoreboard. Connecticut. Gotta go with Dunkin' Donuts Park, home of the AA Hartford Yard Goats. Opened in 2017, capacity just over 6,000. Unlike most ballparks, the press box here is off to the third base side instead of right behind home plate. A club area and luxury suites are in that place behind the plate. Hartford Terrace on the right field corner with a statue of a stag on the roof, an outfield wall with a lot of changes in depth and height, and beyond it the buildings of downtown Hartford. In 2017 and 2018, it was named the best AA stadium by Ballpark Digest. Rhode Island. The choice here is Cardines Field, home to the Newport Gulls, a collegiate summer team. The site has been used since 1908, grandstand built in 1936, renovations done in the last 20 years. Capacity 3,000. Because it's built into a neighborhood, the outfield fence has to work around all the nearby houses. The ticket window, press box, outside concourse, and covered seating section give it a classic early 20th century look. Massachusetts. Last big league stadium on our list, and it's also the oldest. Fenway Park, home to the Boston Red Sox. Opened in 1912. Capacity around 38,000. So many features make Fenway unique. MLB's narrowest foul territory. The shortest distance from home plate to a foul pole, irregular distances all along the outfield wall, creating the triangle in one place, the low bullpen wall that outfielders sometimes fly over, the 37 feet tall green monster in left. They'd never build a ballpark like this today, but the fact that it survived all these years makes it truly special. New Hampshire. Delta Dental Stadium in Manchester, home to the AA New Hampshire Fisher Cats. Opened in 2005, capacity 6,500. One thing that really stands out is the Hilton Garden Inn, just across the left field wall, with rooms and a restaurant with balcony seating that overlook the field. The entrance to the park is very unique, and the Merrimack River flows near the third base side. Vermont. Centennial Field, home to the collegiate summer team, the Vermont Lake Monsters. Another old one. The site was used as early as 1906. The grandstand presently used went up in 1922. Capacity 4,400. It's got modern seats, but there remains one vintage seat per row in case you want the real 1920s experience. Foul territory is quite large because the field was used for football in the past, but these days it's only used for baseball. And finally, we've reached the northeast corner. In Maine, it's Hadlock Field, home to the AA Portland Sea Dogs. Opened in 1994, capacity 7,300. Best known feature is the Maine Monster. Just like Fenway's Green Monster, it's a 37 feet high green wall in left field. This was built in 2002 to prepare their Red Sox-affiliated players for playing in Boston. The Portland Expo, a basketball arena, is a target for foul balls out the right field corner. And that's it, 50 ballparks in 50 states, plus one in DC. Comment down below if you've got a different choice for any of these states. That's all for this one, and until next time, this is Baseball International. See you.